بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي طلبة وطالبات شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اليوم سنتناول درس جديد في علم التفاضل. قبل ما نبدأ درس في علم التفاضل والتكامل، لابد ان احنا نعرف من أهداف التعليم هو تغيير سلوك الفرد. وعرفنا ان السلوك اللي هو behavior of person as means behavior of the function، وده عنوان درسنا النهارده. سلوك الطالب مهم جدا، لابد ان ولي الامر انه يراقب ابنه او بنته، ومطلوب جدا من كل طالب او طالبه انه يجتهدوا في دروسهم، لان بالعلم ترتقي الامم وبالعلم ترتقي الشعوب. Welcome my dear student in our math program for secondary 3. Today we are taking the lesson in calculus differentiation. Its title exercise of or revision of behavior functions. My dear student, look at in the opposite figure, represent f of x equals x power 3 minus 6x squared plus 9x plus 2. Then f of x has local maximum value equals, choose the correct answer. Remember the required local maximum from positive to negative. Number A 6, number B 7, number C 8, number D 9. At the first, the required local maximum, we find the first derivative. Look at the first derivative of this function equals 0 and or when x equals 1 and 3. F dash 3x squared minus 12x plus 9. At the first, we put f dash of x or the first derivative equals 0, then find the value of x. By using factorization or calculator, we know that when x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0, after taking 3 common factor, then we deduce that x minus 1 inside bracket and x minus 3 inside bracket equals 0. Therefore, what is the value of x1? What is the value of x? Another solution, x equals 3. But x equal 1 and 3, look at the graph which opposite. When x1 equals 1, f dash of x equals 0. In this case, by substitution, about x is 1 in f of x is positive. What do you mean? F dash is positive, f of x is increase. When substitution about x from 1 to 3, open interval as 2. When x equal 2, the f dash x smaller than 0 or negative, then f of x is decrease. When x more than 3, as 4, substitution about x equal 4 in f dash of x, f dash x in this case is positive. What you mean? Increase. The first interval from negative infinity to 1 is increase. Second interval from 1 to 3 open interval decrease. Third interval, the function from 3 open to infinity open is increase. What is the local maximum positive negative at x equals 1? What is the value of f of 1 is equals 6. Then the answer, the letter A is 6. My dear student, don't forget local maximum. What do you mean local maximum? At the first, we find f dash of x. the first step. Second step, find the value of f dash of x, which f dash of x equals 0. Two values, 1 and 3, and we have three intervals from -1 to 1, the first interval, from 1 to 3, second interval, from 3 to infinity, the third interval. What is the maximum from positive to negative when x is 1? Find the value of f of 1, answer is 6. Look at another example. F of x equals -2x power 3 plus 6x power 2 minus 3. Then f of x has local maximum at x equals, choose the correct answer, 0, 1, 2, 3. By the same method, find f dash of x. Look at this sketch. F dash of x equals what? Look at, my dear student, -6x squared plus 12x. After that, yes, equals 0. What is the zeros? X equals 0 or x equals 2. In this case, when x equals 0, y equals -3. When x equals 2, y equals 5. Then local maximum when x equals 2. Now we are translate to another example. If we have function f of x equals absolute x ln x, then f of x is decreasing in interval. From behavior function, my dear student, we have decreasing, increasing, constant. Okay? In this case, we have absolute x ln x. What is the required? The required decreasing interval. Look at, choose the correct answer. When f of x equals x ln x, when x more than 1, or negative x ln x when x is smaller than 1. Why? Because the function or original function absolute x ln x. What is the f dash? Good. F dash, the first represent product of two functions, x ln x. First derivative second plus second derivative first. What is the derivative of x? 1 times ln x plus. What is the derivative of ln x? 1 over x. Multiply x is 1. The first derivative, ln x plus 1, when x more than 1. By the same method, f dash x, when x is smaller than 1, equals negative bracket contains ln x plus 1. When x more than 1, ln x equal -1. Then x equals 1 over e. 1 over e when x more than 1. Then, my dear student, in this case, we find decreasing by f dash x equals 0, and decrease means f of x smaller than 0 or negative. Look at f of x equal x ln x for all power 2. F of x has inflection point at x equal what? Look at this sketch. At the first, by first derivative and second derivative. We find first derivative and second derivative. We note that second derivative f dash x, when f dash x equals 0, then x equal 1 over e. F dash x, when x smaller than 1 over e, is negative. What you mean is max convex up. When x more than 1 over e, f dash of x is positive. What you mean? Convex down. The first convex up, second interval from 1 over e, open interval to infinity, convex down. Therefore, f dash x ln x for all power 2 plus 2 ln x multiply 1 over x times x by simplest form. Then f dash x ln x for all power 2 plus 2 ln x. Look at what is the f double dash. What is the derivative of ln x for all power 2? 2 ln x. Multiply derivative of ln x 1 over x. Plus, what is the derivative of ln x? 1 over x multiply 2. Therefore, f double dash must be equal 0. By taking 2 over x common, highest common factor, then 2 over x multiply bracket contains ln x plus 1 must be equal 0. In this case, ln x equal negative 1, x equal 1 over e. We deduce that, my dear student, in this case, x equal 1 over e. Look at another example. F of x equals x squared minus 8 over x. Convex up on interval. What do you mean convex up? Convex up or convex down or convexity? We must find f double dash. And we put f double dash of x equal 0 and find the value of f double dash after 0 solution and less than 0 solution. Look at example, this example, the required convex up. Choose the correct answer. When first interval, open interval 2, 4, number B, open interval negative infinity 0, number C, open interval 2 infinity, number D, open interval 0, 2. What is the required? Convex up. Then we deduce that f double dash is positive when x is smaller than 0. Also, f double dash is negative or convex up when x belongs to open interval 0, 2. When f double dash of x positive when x more than 2. My dear student, at the first we find f dash, after that we find f double dash. We put f double dash equal 0, x in this case 0, f double dash undefined, 2, f double dash 0. How many intervals? 3 intervals. First interval from negative infinity 0, second interval from 0 open to open, third interval open to open infinity. When we substitution about x smaller than 0 as negative 1 and f double dash, we find f double dash more than 0 or positive. This convex down. When x belongs to open interval 0, 1, 0, 2, or x equals 1, f double dash is negative. Then f of x is convex up. When x more than 2, 3, we find f double dash is positive. Then we have 3 intervals. Convex down at first interval and third interval. Convex up of what? Second interval, open 0, 2. F dash to x plus 8 over x squared. F double dash 2 minus 16 over x power 3. In this case, what is the value of x? x power 3 equals 8. What is the value of x2? In this case, my dear student, f of x, x squared minus 8 over x convex up. We choose the correct answer, 0, open, 2, open, interval, open interval, 0, 2. Now we are translate to another example. This example is very important. The function f of x equals x plus m over x power 3 has a critical point at x equals 3. Then the value of m equals what? Choose the correct answer. Number A 6, number B 9, number C 18, number D 27. My dear student, what do you mean critical point? Someone say critical point, the function change from negative to positive or from positive to negative. That's right? Yes. When find critical point, what you do? Yes, excellent student. We find f dash or the first derivative, and we put first derivative equals 0. But in this case, the function has a critical point at x equals 3. Then we find f dash is equal what? Equals 1, negative 3m over x power 4. Or, yes, after that, substitution about x equals 3 to find the value of m. In this case, m must be equal 27. But look at the solution step. F dash 1 minus 3m over x power 4 equals 0. What is the value of x? From the given x equal 3 at critical point. By substitution, then 3m equals 3 power 4, m equal 27. Don't forget, my dear student, critical point means f dash of x must be equal 0. Inflection point, what you mean? F double dash x equals 0. Remember this, very important. Then in this case, my dear student, choose letter D. Answer is 27. Look at, my dear student, in the opposite figure, absolute maximum value of f of x. Absolute x multiply x minus 4 in interval negative 1, 3. What do you mean interval negative 1, 3? It's domain. Domain of the function. We have two functions. The absolute function, x, and multiply, second function, linear function, x minus 4. What is the absolute maximum? My dear student, when we find absolute maximum or absolute minimum, at the first, we find the first derivative. And first derivative must be equal 0. Then find the value of x. Then when x belongs to close the interval negative 1, 3, we substitution about x as equal 0 or 1 or 2. Then find f of zeros and f of negative 1 and f of 3. Absolute maximum, the highest value. Absolute maximum, the lowest value. Look at solution. In this case, we have absolute. Absolute equal x when x smaller than 0 and bigger than -1. Multiply x plus 4. Then we have two branches. Negative x squared plus 4x when x smaller than bigger than -1, smaller than 0, and x squared minus 4x when x smaller than 0, bigger than 0, smaller than 3. Don't forget, domain is -1, 3 closed interval. In this case, we have absolute x. X may be more than 0 or smaller than 0. And distribution about two branches, then f of x negative x squared plus 4x in interval, open interval -1, 0, and f of x equal x squared minus 4x in interval open 0, 3 interval. After that, we find f dash. What is the f dash? The first, negative 2x plus 4. The second, 2x minus 4. The first, what is the value of x? Negative 2x plus 4 equals 0 when x equals 2. Also, 2x minus 4 equals 0 when x equals 2. Don't forget, my dear student, f of 2 by substitution in the original function, answer is -4. F of -1 equals -5. F of 3 equals what? -3. F of 0, 0. What is the absolute of maximum? 0. Why? Because 0 bigger than -3, bigger than -4, bigger than -5. And the required absolute maximum. Someone say, what is the absolute minimum? Yes, -5. -5 when x equal -1. Remember, my dear student, this difference between absolute maximum and absolute minimum and increase, decrease. Absolute maximum, he gives me closed interval. And find the solution set of the function. When the solution set belongs to closed interval, we find f of 0's function and f of two ends of interval. The highest number is absolute maximum, the lowest number absolute minimum. My dear student, look at another example. F of x equals square root x minus 1 over x. Then f of x is increasing in interval. Choose the correct answer. Number A, open interval 2, 5. Number B, open interval 2, infinity. Number C, open interval -infinity 1. Number D, open interval 1, 2. My dear student, what you mean increasing interval? Find the value of f dash of x, or the value of x when f dash of x equals 0. Look at when find f dash of x at the required is increase. F dash of x is positive when x belongs open interval 1, 2. Decrease when x belongs open interval to infinity. But the required increase, then the solution, letter D, open interval 1, 2. Now we are translate to another example. The absolute maximum value of the function f of x equals e power x multiply 3 minus x is 3e power 2, e power 2, 4e power 2, 2e power 2. The required absolute maximum. Absolute maximum, we need find f dash, or the first derivative. This sketch represents the function. When find f dash of x and f dash of x equals 0 when x equals 2. We have two intervals, smaller than 2, bigger than 2. When x belongs from negative infinity to 2, the function is increased. Why? Because f dash is positive. When x belongs open interval to infinity, the function is decreased. Why? Because f dash is negative. The first, f dash equals 0. E power x multiply 3 minus x minus e power x equals 0. Then by taking e power x common factor, then 2 minus x equals 0, x equals 2. F of 2 equals e power 2. Why? Because e power x, e power 2. Then absolute maximum value, letter B, e power 2. My dear student, in behavior function, this unit's very important. We have more definition as absolute maximum, absolute minimum, increasing function, decreasing, and inflection point or critical point. Don't forget there is difference between critical point and inflection point. Critical point, we use f dash of x, but inflection point, we must find f double dash of x equals 0. After that, we find the value of x after we substitution about the zeroth function in the original function. My dear student, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Thank you. Goodbye. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي طلبة وطلبات شهادة الثانوية العامة قسم رياضيات لغات، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نعلم جميعا أن بالعلم ترتقي الأمم، ولكل مجتهد نصيب. طالب ثالثة ثانوي لابد أن يتسم بالأخلاق الحميدة، لأن علاقة طردية أو directed relation بين الأخلاق والتقدم في العلم. كل ما يكون مجتهد في العلم كل ما تكون أخلاقك جيدة جدا. فهدف العلم هو تغيير سلوك الفرد من الأسوأ إلى الأفضل. Welcome my dear student in our math program for secondary 3.
وندخل مع بعض عالم النباتات الجميلة ونتعرف كمان على أسرارها.
النهارده احنا عندنا كلام جميل ونميس وافكار حلوه قوي على ازاي لما ابعت بنتي او ابني، مش شرط انا كفاهمه او كمتخصصه في النباتات اروح اشتري من المشتل. انا وارد ان انا ابعت حد ما ينوب عني، الغفير، العامل، ابني، بنتي، يختار نبات من المشتل. بقول له انا عاوزه ايه. انا الاول لما باجي احدد انا عاوزه ايه من النباتات، يبقى بحدد انا النباتات اللي هعوزها هل اندور او اوتدور، هل خارج المنزل او داخل المنزل. طب انا عايزه النبات، ايه الشروط، ايه المواصفه، ايه التعليمات اللي اقدر اقولها لشاري او هاوي الزرع. ودلوقتي هنتعرف على اطفالنا الحلوين اللي معانا في برنامجنا الجميل يلا نزرع. اسمك ايه يا حبيبي؟
محمود أحمد.
محمود احمد، اهلا بيك.
محمود محمد.
اهلا بيك.
لارا نادر.
اهلا بيك يا لارا. القمر
ليلي نادر.
ليلي نادر، اهلا بيكم ونورتونا وشرفتونا في برنامجنا الجميل يلا نزرع. ودلوقتي هنتكلم على ازاي بنختار النباتات بتاعتنا سواء داخل المنزل او خارج المنزل. طيب اهم حاجه لاختيار النبات وهو ان النبات يكون ليه جذر، الروت بتاعه يبقى واضح كده من خلف. لو كان في قصيص يبقى ضارب في ارضيه القصيص، او انا بشتري من حد واثقه فيه ويقول لي ان النبات مطلع جذر، لانه مش هيقدر يعيش بدون قواعد التثبيت بتاعته في التربه او